today is going to be the soulmate reading to see what's going on between you and your soulmate. Please keep in mind that this is general, so it may or may not resonate with your specific situation. If you would like to book a personal reading, that information is down below in the description box. If you are new to the channel, welcome. I hope that you stay around. Be sure to subscribe and turn on your post notifications so that you are notified when I post a new video, which is every day. If you are returning, then I appreciate you for coming back. So I have already shuffled the cards. I'm going to cut them. I'm using 2 decks today, and this is like my old faithful. It's the first deck that I ever got, and I'm going to be using that to clarify. But let's see what's going on with these soulmates. So at the bottom of the main deck, we have death. This is about something dying so something else can be born, so something else can live. This is the card of Scorpio. It is, you know, mainly to me about transformation, undergoing some type of transformation, shedding your skin, shedding old versions of yourself, shedding things that are no longer beneficial to you, so that you become bare, so that you become a skeleton, so to speak, and you can put on or allow to come through the things that really resonate with you. Your true self can come forth. Everything else that you have accumulated, whether it's from, you know, programming or your family or whoever, can die. Those things can no longer live because you are ascending. You are becoming a different person. You are growing. You are evolving. And the more that you elevate, the more you have to separate from things that are no longer for you. So I feel like that is what is undergoing here, especially for, you know, soulmates. Soulmates and twin flames. And yes, I am aware that these are 2 very different things. But for specific soulmates, especially soulmates that turn into life partnerships, there is a lot of transformation taking place in these situations, in these relationships, in these connections, so that if things are to move forward, they move forward in a way that is going to cause longevity to happen. So that is the bottom of the deck. Your first card is the Knight of Pentacles. We have the Ace of Pentacles. We have the Page of Pentacles. We have the Page of Wands, the 3 of Wands, and the 9 of Wands. So we got 3 Pentacles and 3 Wands here. We have Earth sign energy, Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo. We have fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Doesn't have to be, but, you know, just throwing that out there. So I feel like this message is very straightforward. On the top here, we have the Knight of Pentacles, the Ace of Pentacles, and we have the Page of Pentacles. So the Knight is bringing this pentacle. We have this new beginning, a new start, because the Ace represents a new beginning. This is something that is going to be solid and stable. It's very grounded energy. Again, it's earth energy. So you're dealing with earth signs, people who are very grounded in their high vibration, are very grounded and very stable. I'm also very cautious with the Knight of Pentacles because this is the slowest moving card in the deck. It's the slowest Knight in the deck, so it takes time, and it takes time not because it's procrastinating, but because structure and order are important. Having a plan and executing that plan, seeing it all the way through to the finish, is what is important. And so it may have taken a while to get here, but when it gets here, it's going to be great. It's going to be something that you both can nurture and care for. The Page of Pentacles is always about a seed to me. It is not the whole garden, it's not the whole plant, but it's something that is going to set the foundation. It's something that will lay the foundation, and you all will be able to care for it and nurture it until it grows into an entire garden. I actually got this, I think it was yesterday's pull on Instagram. It was either yesterday or Saturday, one of them days. But yeah, so that is coming. The the stability, the longevity that you wanted in a relationship, whether, you know, it's romantic relationship or a partnership, a business partnership, friendship, whatever it is coming, and it is coming to bring you something that is going to last, and something that you will be able to care for a while, for as long as you choose to. On the bottom row, we have the Page of Wands, the Three of Wands, and we have the Nine of Wands. The Page of Wands is about a messenger. This is somebody who is coming to bring a message of some sort. This can also represent a child, because pages represent children, but I feel like this is a messenger, especially because we have the night coming to deliver something, to offer something. There will be some type of message coming in. The Three of Wands is about waiting for your ships to come in. It's, you know, after the Two of Wands, the Two of Wands is all about choosing a path, making a decision, making a plan. Now that the plan has been put into motion, now you're waiting. You're waiting to get on this boat. You're waiting for something to come in. You know, depending on what side of this you are on. If you are the one who is giving the offer, then you're waiting on your transportation to take you to the person that you want to give an offer to. If you are on the receiving end, then you're waiting for this to come in, and you've been waiting for this for a while. For some of you, it's also about expansion, and for me, it's spiritual expansion, spiritual growth, spiritual enlightenment, awakening, that kind of thing. Especially with the Death card being here, there's shedding and purging happening. There is awakening happening, realizing who you are, what really resonates with you, what you really want to do in life, what you want your life to look like, being able to create and manifest that now that you are sure and certain about those things that you actually want. The Three of Wands is also about travel. So if you are at a distance from the person that you are connected with, then you could be traveling, or they could be traveling to you. The Nine of Wands is the wounded warrior. It's somebody who has dealt with a lot. They've been to battle a few times. They're wounded. They're hurt, but they're still standing. They're very strong. I'm feeling Leo energy here, very strong, because the Strength card is the sign of Leo. Does not have to be, but that's what I feel. I feel somebody who's very strong. They've been very strong during these battles, during these things that should have taken them out completely, because this man has the bandage on his head. He got bruises and scratches all over him, but he's still holding his wand. He's still holding that wand that he has chosen. And in the Three of Wands, he's holding one wand because a path has been chosen. In the Two of Wands card, it's the same thing. He's holding one wand in his hand. He is very sure about this. And it's like, I've gone through all of these battles. I fought all of these wars. I've done all of these things. And it's for this wand. It's for this pinnacle. It's so that I can have the thing that is going to make me happy, that is going to give me fulfillment. And I feel like these battles, these wars, whatever it is that they've been fighting for, fighting against, it's part of this death process, because you have to, sometimes you have to be torn down to nothing in order to transform. For some people, you know, they get it right away. Like, okay, I see what this is. Let me just go ahead and surrender and allow things to happen. But some people like to fight. Some people like to fight against the universe, against God. Why? I don't know why we do that. But some people do. And it's a losing battle. But at the same time, it's a winning battle. You're not going to win against the universe. That's just not possible. You're not going to win against God. That's just not possible. But though you may not win the battle, though you may not win that battle against, you know, God or the universe, it's still going to put you in a position that will allow you to win, that will allow you to have success, because the universe only wants what is best for you. The universe always has your back and is always supporting you, but when you're right. Like, the universe is like your friend that's like, I'm with you when you're right. But if you're out here doing stupid stuff, I'm going to tell you that you're doing stupid stuff. And I'm going to correct you from a place of love, but I'm going to correct you. because I want what's best for you. And so, you know, you lose, but in the end you win. And I feel like that is what has taken place. There's been a lot of losses, you know, especially in the material sense with all these pentacles here. It could have been a loss of a job, of a home. It could even be people, friends, family, that type of situation, especially when there's spiritual expansion here, because some people just don't understand. And sometimes when you elevate, not sometimes, when you elevate, you have to separate. You have to separate from people who you thought were your friends, from family members, from people you thought would always be in your life, but where you are going, where your next level is, not everyone can come. There's just like a lot of, you know, big events in Hollywood. Not everybody can just show up without an invite. There are only a certain type of people or a certain group of people who are allowed, and it's the same thing with your life. At every stage of your life, there are only certain people who could get in. There are only certain people that are going to be able to go with you to the next level. And you have to be okay with that. And for some people, they've been fighting against that because they didn't want to let go. And then they had no choice but to let go because it was ripped away from them. And so, yes, it's disappointment and it's hurt and it's lonely, it's cold. It feels like a death, like you've lost somebody very close to you, like a physical death. Though the person is still around, or though, you know, the situation, whatever it is still around, it feels like a death. It feels like you're mourning. It feels like you're grieving because you've been invested in this thing for so long. But what you don't realize is that there's something better for you. And when you go through this awakening process, when you wake up, when you can see things from a higher perspective, then you realize that it was all for a reason, and that reason is to give you something that's going to be a lot better than what you had. Because the universe is not going to take something from you and not replace it with something better. And not unless, you know, it's a situation where you haven't learned your lesson and now you just repeating cycles because you keep doing the same stuff. That's different. But if you are doing what you need to do, if you are growing and expanding and evolving, you're going to get something much better. You're going to get something with longevity. So all of this was necessary. The death was necessary. The transformation was very much so necessary so that all of this can come together. So that happiness can come together. At the bottom of the clarifying, y'all know what I'm saying, the deck that's going to clarify these other cards. We have the 10 of Cups. 10 of Cups being the ultimate happiness. It is the happy family. It is the, you know, typical, or not really typical, but, you know, the family unit. The mother, the father, the kids. Doesn't have to be mother and father. Y'all get what I'm saying, though. What a family would look like with parents and kids, if that's what your family would look like. At the end of the day, it is the rainbow after the rain. This is the storm. This is the storm that took your house, that took everything away from you in the material sense, so that you have to now rebuild. You have to start all over with this Ace of Pentacles, but this Ace of Pentacles is something solid. So when you rebuild, it is going to be something that stands strong. The 10 of Cups is also, to me, about a united front. You know, you have a partnership here with two people who are willing to go to battle against whatever comes up against them. Whatever tries to stop the relationship, end the relationship, hinder the relationship, they are willing to let it go. In the 9 of Wands, you have one person here who's been fighting this battle. You both have been fighting battles alone. You both have been in this war alone. At least you felt like you were in it alone. And then you come together, you have the 10 of Cups here, and now you are a united front. Now you are able to fight together. You're not fighting the battle alone anymore. You're not in this alone anymore. You have somebody beside you who is willing to be your partner, who is willing to help you, who is willing to push you and motivate you, who is willing to fill your cup as you fill theirs. This is balance. This is partnership. This isn't a one-sided relationship. This is something that is going to last. And with all of these cups, with all of this water that is here, we have what is necessary to nurture this seed, this pentacle, so that it grows, so that it becomes the king and the queen of pentacles, so that it becomes something that is abundant in all aspects, emotionally and in the financial sense. Because I feel like this is a situation where the Tower came in. You know, the Tower is a shakeup. It is something that comes as a surprise. It is a surprise ending or some type of shock that happens. It's the ending of a relationship. It's the ending of a foundation, and that was the storm. The storm took the Tower down because it was no longer meant to stand. It needed to die so something else could live. What is that something else? This relationship that you have both been, whether you knew it or not, fighting these wars for, fighting these battles for, fighting yourself, your internal demons and, you know, your shadow self, and doing all of this work for. That's what this has been for. So yes, something died, but what died was no longer serving you anyway, and what is going to live is something that is going to nourish you for a very long time. And so you have this happiness here. Now you can see why you had to go through everything that you had to go through, and it's worth it. It's worth it because you get something that is going to be emotionally fulfilling. You get the partnership, because I mean, most of us want a partnership, most of us want a commitment, a marriage, whatever it is, but we want it to be very healthy. We want it to be balanced. At least if you are at a point where, you know, you've expanded and grown and evolved, and you're not just, you know, codependent or looking for somebody you can fix or whatever the case may be. Talking about healthy partnerships here. People who are on their own, very stable, very grounded people. Nine of Pentacles energy here. But you have the happiness and the abundance that you wanted. And this is the overall energy. And right under that, we had the Fool and the Ace of Cups. The Fool being a new beginning, and the Ace of Cups being an abundance of love and happiness and joy. It's love in all forms, friendships, family, your tribe, basically. Anybody you consider your tribe, there's just an overwhelming amount of love coming for you in all forms. In relationships, in new friendships, now that, you know, old friendships have gone. These things that you thought you lost in this death are being replenished. They are being replenished in ways that you cannot imagine, in ways that will overwhelm you, but not in the bad sense. It'll be everything that you've wanted, everything that you thought you had before, but once that died and something new came in, it showed you that what you had before really wasn't nothing. It wasn't anything at all. And you were holding on to it so tightly. You were grabbing it so tightly until you had no choice but to move on, because it was destroyed and there was nothing else for you to hold on to. We have the Empress. We have the Knight of Cups. We have the Queen of Cups. We have the Ace of Swords. We have the Two of Swords. And we have the Tower. Like I said, the Tower was here. The Tower happened. This is why this person is wounded. This is why they are hurt, because they were, you know, they had to jump out the building. This building they were trying to hold up on their own, hold up with somebody else. Somebody else was trying to hold it up, whatever the case may be. They were trying to keep this building up. They were trying to keep this tower alive. It could not happen. It had to come down. The universe stepped in. And down goes Frazier. This is why they are wounded. This is why they are bruised. This is why they are hurt. So, the Tower has come down. It's created an ending. It's created this, you know, surprise factor that maybe they weren't prepared for, but, you know, they survived because they're still here. Bandaged up, yes. Bruised, yes. Hurt, yes, but still here nonetheless. And now that this death has happened, this ending has happened, this transformation is occurring. Now they can move forward. Now they can move towards the things that they want. And at the top, we have the Empress, the Knight of Cups, the Queen of Cups. What's interesting is that we have the Empress and the Queen of Cups that are facing toward the Knight of Cups. I feel like this is, you know, the feminine energy. It doesn't have to be a woman, just feminine energy here with the Empress and the Queen of Cups. And this Knight of Cups is making this offer to this feminine energy. This feminine energy that has always been, I won't say always, this feminine energy that is now at a place where they are emotionally stable, where they are willing and able to give love, to receive love, just very stable when it comes to emotions, not being reactive, not being impulsive, having control of their emotions. And this person is bringing a cup, an additional cup, to match the cup that the Queen of Cups is carrying. Then you get your Two of Cups, healthy partnership. At the bottom, we have the Ace of Swords, the Two of Swords, and the Tower. The Ace of Swords is here with the Page of Wands, which says to me that there is communication that is going to offer clarity to you, something that you did not know, did not understand. You wanted information on, you wanted answers to, you wanted closure on, whatever the case may be. There is clarity coming. This communication is going to be very direct. It's going to be very clear, very straight to the point. It's not, you know, having to guess what somebody is trying to say, having to put together a puzzle, solve a riddle. Like, it's none of that. It's very straight to the point. Very much so in the air sign qualities, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, just straight to the point. Could be a little blunt, could be direct, harsh, however you look at it. But I feel like this is information that you wanted. You wanted these answers. You wanted this information, and that is also coming. So not only are they bringing this cup, which is about emotions, you know, water is emotions, but it's also bringing you clarity. So you get emotional fulfillment. You're getting the happiness that you want with the Ten of Cups being here, and you are getting clarity. You're also getting stability with the Ace of Pentacles being here. We have the Two of Swords here with the Three of Wands. I feel like this is past energy, because the Two of Swords is about making a decision, making a choice, having to choose something. But in the Two of Wands that you have to go through before you get to the Three of Wands, you have already made that choice. You've already chosen that path, and now you're ready to set out and go. I feel like for a while they were trying to make this decision very, very blindly. Before, you know, this Tower moment happened, they were just, the veil was still on their eyes. They could not see because they were not awakened. They had not woken up yet. They had not gone through the process of ascension, evolving, growing, that type of thing. So they were trying to make a decision very blindly. There were still things that they needed to see, needed to realize. All of that happens when this Tower comes down. And this is what is going to cause them to move forward. We have the King of Swords. We have the Two of Cups. We have Temperance. We have the King of Pentacles, the Four of Wands, and the Eight of Wands. So the King of Swords is, again, you know, air sign energy. This is very direct and straight to the point communication. So this person is coming in as the Knight of Cups and the King of Swords, somebody who is able to make decisions, cut off what no longer serves them, which they are doing after this Tower moment. They are able to make decisions, leave things behind, and now they can come and communicate something to you that they wanted to say or that you wanted to know, and be very honest about it, be very upfront about it. Like I said, with the Knight of Cups and the Queen of Cups, you have two people who have their own cups. They are coming together to make it a Two of Cups, which is about a healthy partnership. Very similar to the Ten of Cups energy. It's, to me, the same energy. The Ten of Cups is just what you get after you've been together, after you continue to fill this cup and pour into each other's cup, create this balance, create this alchemy, which is happening here in the Temperance card. The Temperance card, to me, is about balancing the practical, logical part of you with your emotions, because this person, this woman, angel, figure, whatever it is, has one foot in the grass and one foot in water. This to me is creating a balance so that you are using both your logic, being very practical about things, making smart decisions that are well thought out, which is very much so earth sign energy. And then you have water, which is water signs, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, the more emotional side, the emotions, the love, the feelings, that kind of thing. There has to be a balance of those two. You have to, temper it. You have to come to a place where this is balanced and harmonized in order for this relationship to work. You don't want to lead with just emotions, or lead with just, being practical and logical and be completely detached from your emotions. We have the King of Pentacles here, and like I said, this, with all of this water here and this earth sign energy, these pentacles being here, you have the necessary resources to nourish this seed so that it grows into the King of Pentacles. You have somebody very stable, very grounded, somebody who has recovered all of their losses, because the Pentacles are about the material world. It's about, working. This to me is Capricorn. Earth sign energy in general, but Capricorn specifically, and we know that Capricorns are the hardest working people, in terms of zodiac signs. So you have somebody who has recouped everything that they lost. They built everything from the ground up, in all sense, not just in the material sense, but emotionally, mentally, physically, all across the board. They have gone through this major transformation. So they're no longer the wounded warrior here. They've gotten through that. There's been death. They had to let go of that old skin. They shed that old skin, and now they can show up as the person that they really are. They can show up as somebody who has control, who is stable, who is grounded, who can make sound decisions now, because they're no longer blinded. They no longer have that veil on. We have the Four of Wands here, which is about your home life. It's about marriage, commitment, family, that type of thing. And this is ultimately what they want. In this Four of Wands, you have a couple who looks like they just got married. Above that, we have the Two of Cups, and to me, this, even though they're outside, this could be seen as meeting at like the altar. So you have somebody who is looking long term, looking for stability, looking for that serious commitment, not just something that's going to last for a couple of months or a year or two, but somebody who wants to have a long lasting relationship with you. We have the Eight of Wands here, which is about communication. The communication is coming after this Tower moment. So after this ending has happened, after this has, destroyed this old foundation, allowed them to purge and release everything that was no longer serving them. Now they can basically start over and adapt this new identity, which is their true identity and who they've always been. But they forgot that, so now they woke up, they know who they are, and there is communication, there is forward movement here. And, this communication is what is going to start everything moving in the right direction. Is going to be the thing that is going to allow this coming together to happen. Whether you have to travel to see each other or whatever the case may be, there is communication that is going to start something new for you two, if that is what you want. But I feel like this is definitely something you wanted, and it's coming. It's going to take some time. It's been taking some time. I feel like, the messages have been the same week after week, and that's just what the energy is. It's just going to take some time to play out, but I feel like over, this next couple of months, you're really going to be able to see a change, and it's not just going to be, okay, well, you said that 18 weeks ago too, and nothing has happened. But, behind the scenes, things that we cannot see, there's always something going on. There's always some type of change happening. So keep that in mind and be patient. I know it's not easy because I am not a patient person. But again, if you would like to book a personal reading, you can do so by visiting my website, CrystallizedCounsel.us. That information is in the description box. Also, starting July 8th, I want to say it is. Is that Sunday? Yeah, I don't know. But I'm going to be having a sale again for one question email readings. It's going to be $5 again, so I will post that probably on Sunday just to remind you all. But get your coins together if you would like to book a $5 one question email reading starting next week or this week, however you look at it. Bye, y'all.